Hello, welcome back to Property Spy. We've changed our name from Auction Spy to Property Spy. This is the channel where we appraise properties that are due to go to auction. We look into properties that are not in auction, hence why we change our name, so that we can assess them, look at the properties as property investors would. And the idea is that by watching this channel, you'd learn how to appraise properties, how to assess properties before you even leave your house to go and do any viewings. So today I've picked a property in Edmonton, that's in London. What caught my eye on this one is that it's a freehold detached bungalow, single story, but most importantly that there is development potential. And when you see properties like this, just one floor, instinctively, if you're that way minded, you'll be thinking, well, can I add another floor to the top? Can I add another 2 floors? There are permitted development rights that you may want to attempt, but that's just on initial viewing. So the guide price is 140,000, which is quite small for anywhere in London, but somewhere like this, it says it's got 4 rooms, garden, development potential, so that's always a fantastic thing. So that's first things tick. Then it's on this site, this EIG site, no sponsor, but it's the site I use to look at auction properties. Here you've got the option to go to the catalog entry. In the catalog entry, it gives you a bit more information. It's double fronted, which is nice. It's near Silver Street Overground Station, which is good, and regular services into London Liverpool Station. Well, after coronavirus, we don't know if people would see that as a great thing or not. The postcode is there, reception, bedroom 1, 2, 3. So obviously people are living in there. Not sure what the situation is, but as with every auction property, you make sure you look at the legal documents, get a solicitor to review them for you, and just make sure that it is what you want and all the terms are suitable, or you find all the terms conducive. There are no documents as yet. Well, that's fine because the auction is not till the 15th. Okay, so a few days time. Now, that's not the end of the world. We can do some other research before the documents are ready. If you find yourself in this situation, you have the option of phoning the estate agent to get the information, or you can get your solicitor to do all of that for you. It may cost you some money, but it is well worth it. So no legal documents. Now, you must ask yourself the question, this is London, this obviously looks like a development opportunity, but why is it so cheap? Why is it so low? And why hasn't the current owner done it? It might be that they're old and they're looking to retire. It might be that they've tried and it's not worked. So things you should look for if you're looking at a development of potential, you can go to the council's planning portal and search for that address. So that's what we'll do. It's Infield planning portal. Let's see what that takes us. Okay, so searching for planning application. Here, where would the online, you can use online to view and comment. Okay, let's go here. Planning applications, commenting of the planning process. Okay, let's go to the open planning register. So if you're thinking of doing a development, just make sure that no one else has tried the planning application, that same scheme, and had it rejected. And if it has been rejected, just find out why it's been rejected. So N18 to XS, N18 to XS. Do a search. Okay, let's see what comes back. Okay, so it's what, 221. C219, demolition of existing house for the erection of a 4-story build. The 2015. Usually the first 2 digits represent the year. So 219. College close. Demolition of existing house, erect a 4-story building to accommodate 3 2-bed flats. 4 1-bed flats. Wow, it's quite a big scheme. I wonder if they got planning. Status unknown. application withdrawn. You'd see why these applications may have been withdrawn. So they've submitted quite a few times. So this application they've tried since 2015, maybe 2008. Wow. Quite a few conversion of existing hostel. Okay. What was the decision here? 2005. Did they get it? That's granted. Oh, nice. So 219 got planning. That's 2005. That's ages ago. Okay, let's go back to results. Okay, so that's a slight detour. But what we're interested in is 221, I believe. Yeah, 221. Can't see anything for 221, but 219 has really been trying to get planning. Application withdrawn quite a few times. It can be frustrating applying for anything. So it might be that they've not deemed the scheme right. But each one of these would have led to some sort of discussion with the council, and they may have given some guidance as to what they would accept. You can look at this page when you've got time, but you can see that the scheme would continue to change, and nothing's been granted on 219. Okay, so I can't see anything for 220, which potentially is good news because no one's tried and had their application rejected, or they may have done a pre-application inquiry and found that it might not work. I'll tell you why. So the next thing to do is, okay, great property, what else can I do? You can go and view go on Street View and have a look in the area. So I've been looking, so you got this MOT station not far from it on the new management. That's fine, whenever this was taken. So you'd find that it's not that great. Now this is the building, 221. 221. I'd imagine 219 is on this side, which is next door. I'll have a look at that in a bit. But this is the building. Now this bit here, the high-rise behind it, is on the other side of some train tracks. Look at the poles for the trains. So immediately you know there's going to be a bit of a challenge from the transport, potentially transport for London or Network Rail. Depends on how close it is to the track. They may not let you build anything that close. They may not let you go up one floor, or they would have a say on what your windows look like on that side of the building. It's not the end of the world by any means, but it's something you need to think about. You also need to think about the construction period. It might be that they say you cannot do any construction during the day. It has to be at night when the trains have stopped running. And then you have to do special scaffolding on that part of the building. So the construction is by no means straightforward. So that's something to think about. It's definitely worth viewing just to see how deep the site is. So what's this one? This one's a 219. Can't see what they're demolishing to create those many flats. So it might be just demolishing this. This site looks quite wide. So it's an interesting area. It doesn't look that upmarket, but then everywhere in London is so expensive. If we go down the road, see what's there. So this is how you spy on properties and your investment opportunity. So you have a look, say, okay, this looks like a council area, but you've got a Benz. You can think whatever you want. So you got Benz there, you got Benz on the left hand side, right hand side, Prius there, Mazda, that's the usual kind of stuff. It's not too bad, but you see the type of housing around. So again, that's all stuff that may affect your choice of scheme and the people you think you'd want to have buy your flats if you're building to sell. You've got more tower blocks there, and then you've got roads blocked by bollards. So that's always indicative of some driver crime and or maybe rough driving in the streets. So yeah, and there's another Benz there, there's a Benz there, there's a Benz there. So this area, they do like Benzes. So they do like the finer things. That's a BM there. But what we're really interested in is this lot here. Now, what will be your plan B? You need to also have a plan B if you're not able to get planning to do to build on top of that, or if it's really expensive. So for that, we go to our favorite tool, ValApp. ValApp is a tool that appraises sites for property developers and property investors, and it gives you an idea as to what you should be offering for any property that you see. Okay, so let's start stacking. We'll add a new appraisal. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to copy the URL of the property so that I can refer to it quite easily from the app. With some sites, if you get a URL for one of these sites listed at the bottom, it will just pull the information for you, but EIG doesn't allow that, so we don't have that option. Okay, I think another way of doing this would be to okay, let's do it this way. The postcode is M18. M18 to access. No, EIG doesn't let you copy from its page either, which can be frustrating. But there we go. So 221 College Road, close. Okay, 221 College, close. Property status, inspection. Property type, house. Property price is 140, I believe. Yeah. It's a guide price, obviously, you know that, maybe it's not so obvious, but oftentimes the guide price there has no bearing as to what it would actually sell for. Sometimes it's put so low that it just wants to drive up a lot of activity and a lot of interest. Having said that, I believe the law is that the reserve price has to be within 10%. I don't know if it's a law or just their best practice. So that's what it is. Here it doesn't give us any size of the property EPC. Okay. We could have a look at the EPC register for the size of the property as it is, if it's EPC register. Emulating to access. Let's make sure that's the case. Good. Okay, we've got 221. There we go. Okay, so very low energy. Everything just poor. Okay, so there's a lot of work to be done in order to bring it up to standard. I want to see. So this one's the lettings EPC. Let's see a bit more about the description of how many rooms and the size. That should be in here as well. Very I don't know if that's even legal anymore. Buy a property. Okay, so it's 68 square meters. Okay, 68. Okay, so we put the property size here. 68 square meters. Okay, and that's all I need to submit for appraisal. So we can submit for appraisal. Can we do? Just thinking whether I should use a mega stack or just do the individual. continue for appraisal. So it okay. So if we did a buy to let on this property as is, so you buy it and you can't get planning, you need to do it up. So right now it's got 3 bedrooms. Floor area is 68. Go back to do a search for you. So whilst it's doing this, it's just checking the whole area for rental properties and rental values, and looking at the data that's been collated. And if it finds enough data, it will bring back some information. Okay, so it's not found anything, which is a shame. Okay, so let's go see if there's anything that'll come up on here. Okay, rental properties. Okay, there isn't enough evidence of rentals. So one thing you could do then is let's go back to appraisals. So I just added. Okay, let's do. This one's an interesting one. So the ground floor, if the walls are as bad as the EPC suggests, it might be that you have to do a demolish and build. So we'll do a new build, X and B. So in here you put in the area of the building that you're going to end up with. So I would say that you're going to end up with, I'll try for 3 floors. You do 68 times 3. That's 204 square meters. Let's get it to create a scheme for me. Okay. So with the creation of a scheme, it tries to it breaks this property into different types of collections or combinations of flats, and comes up with the result and tells you how much you should offer. Okay, so I think you can get 2 flats. Let's see what this 4-1 bid will give us. No information in this area. I wonder why. I'm struggling to get anything back. Okay. Doesn't mean there isn't much activity in this area. Let's go to Rightmove. Search M18 to excess. That's this one. Let's increase the size area. Okay, so it's looking for 3 beds. So this is something to, you have to really think about the difficulty in finding any information in the area. You don't have direct comparables because you've got flats. Let's assume this £220,000 flat is your competition in that area. You could give it a premium of let's give it a 50 grand premium, or just make it 250 because of new build. It will be some level of premium there. Okay, so if you're able to get 4 flats and build each one and sell each one for 250 grand, then this one becomes a deal. If you're able to do that, so 4 1 beds. How you do 4 1 beds, I'm struggling with. That's, you're going for 3 floors. Let's see the frontage of the building. So if anyway you can get 212, or is it more likely just going to get doesn't look like there's much by way of extending to the side, and that looks like the fence. So close to the trunk. Is that a bit of a garden? Might be able to extend in there. Okay, so on this one, if you're able to get 4 one-beds, you might be okay. But as with everything, you have to go and you have to do the viewing to see it for yourself. And then, is this an area where people pay £250,000 for a flat? That's a question that needs answering. And those are considerations you have to make. We do know that there's a property on the market for 210, for 220, oops, for 220. It's very near Closest Station. It's fairly well connected. Now, if you're able to build 4 flats there, and you're not able to sell, then let's look at the buy-to-let option. We'll not find anything with it, so let's go there. So it's a 1-bed. It's 204. Okay, still going to search. Maybe we might find something this time that I've put in 1-bed. Okay, can't find anything. Okay, so it's not found anything. Okay, so sadly, we'll try 2 beds. I found something 2 bed. Let's do that. So I've not found anything either. Right, so what's going to happen is if we look at rentals in the area, let's see what rentals are there. Property type is flats. Number of bedrooms, 1. Let's see, can't find anything. Let's include, let's increase the space here, radius. Let's see, there's nothing. Nothing, really? Come on. Wow. Nothing for rent in that area. I wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so £4,000, so £1,000 for a flat per month. That's not too bad for a £1 million property, perhaps. Well, that's 4% roughly. 4% yield. It's not the end of the world. So you could potentially do a buy-to-let on there. So on this one, there's limited information, limited comparables, and you have to go out up to a mile in order to see something that you can compare with on the rental side and on the new build side. The reason I've gone for a new build is that the EPC says that the building is very, very inefficient. Now you can add insulation and stuff like that, but it says the walls solid brick was built. There's no insulation, so we need to do that. I just wondered if the walls will be strong enough to carry 2 floors above them, or even a floor. So that's some work you need to do. And if you're able to sell for $250 and get 4 flats, then I think you're laughing. And then with the rentals, you get a 4% yield on each flat, 4 to 5% yield. It's not the end of the world, but you get a property in your portfolio. So on this one, I would argue that it's probably not amazing, but the deals can work on this one. So okay, so that's it for today. If you've got any questions, do not hesitate to put a comment under the video. If you've got any questions, send them to me. I will respond to every single one. Subscribe, click like, support the work we're doing, and until next time, keep investing.